Got it. What's up?
Hi, Darren.
How are you?
Good to see you, brother.
Nice to see you, Rob.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle.
I'm Darren Leader.
We just, we kind of we covered that thoroughly at this point.
Yeah, but we were casual about it, and now we're official.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like being official.
I do, too.
Yeah.
If you could be any official position in the world, what would you be?
Unofficial official.
Yeah.
No, officially.
Officially?
What you can just snap your fingers and you're that job. What are you?
Emperor.
Of what?
I guess the world.
Earth?
Yeah.
Dude.
I know. I go straight to the top, baby. You thought I was going to say night supervisor at the DMV, didn't you?
No. Well, it's a great job. Whoever's got that job, thanks.
Oh, all they do is play internet games all night long.
If I was a night guy at the DMV, I would have one of those Sega Dreamcasts, and I would have a Switch, and I'd have every mobile device you could play on.
And how annoyed would you be when you actually had to do some work?
This is the look. I'd go like this. If you're watching the podcast, I'd go like this. And here, you got to interrupt me.
Yeah. Hey, you got to fill out these files, Darren.
Right.
Darren, got to fill out these forms. They're real important. They got to be done before morning.
Right. 25B. Go get it.
That doesn't even make sense.
Sir, we open at 9.
No.
See, you're there way too early. Because I'm the night guy.
Yeah, you are the night guy.
I'm not like daytime dude. You're the emperor. I'm the night guy.
Okay, but I think the emperor's better. It's a better gig.
Depends.
Yeah, a lot of responsibility.
No one's really watching me. You're under like a scope. You're the emperor. Like people are like looking to take you down. Nobody gives a fuck about this guy. They're just like, oh, that's the video game guy.
All right, maybe you have something. Maybe I should lower.
Yeah,
a little bit.
You want to just roll right under the radar.
Yeah,
that's how I do it.
Yeah. All right, you give me something to think about, man. I had dreams and ambitions, and now I'm just taking them down. So thank you.
I'm just giving you perspective because you went straight to the top, and I feel you bit off a lot.
I did.
Because emperor comes with a lot of responsibility. You don't ever get to go golf. You don't ever get to just chill. And you know what? If you have some relationships...
You had me never get to golf.
That's what you think an emperor's like, hey, bro, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get a quick 18 in. No, I have to solve this war problem over here.
Yeah.
I've got a faction coming up.
Yeah.
It wants a peace.
I can't have any factions.
No factions.
No factions.
This is a faction-free
free
world.
zone, yeah.
Well, your zone is the world.
That's right. So it is a faction-free world.
That's what I'm saying.
And that would be the T-shirt I'd wear. That'd be my motto. I'd have that painted on the palace, on the walls of the palace.
Dude, I'd have in old English letters, FFW, faction-free world. And I'd be like, yeah, bitch.
Yeah, what's up, fool?
That's what I'm saying. You want to come at me? Guess again. I got the security guy from DMV right over there.
That's right.
Right-hand man.
Faction-free.
Faction-free.
And when people ask me, they're like, well, what are you going to do about the hunger? And I was like, faction-free.
Yeah.
And I walk out. I just drop the mic. After I say faction-free, I drop the mic.
That's it. You'd be a great emperor.
God, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Gary, do you think I'd be a good emperor of the world?
I do. I think you'd be an excellent emperor.
You know what I feel like we're doing right now? I feel like we are setting ourselves up for success, Gary, because if he's the emperor, we're going to be right in that main palace.
I'm looking forward to it. I figured you'll be the head of all musical entertainment, and I'll be the court jester who he fires guns at.
I love that. I feel like you could be a little more confident with your position and like lift yourself up.
Yeah, Gary, go for it.
I think I have a lot more ability than that, but given my relationship and my history with Riggle, I assume he'll want to fire weapons at me.
Not at you, around you.
Toward me, I guess.
Well, wait. When you say around, you mean like within an inch or within like...
I don't know. Am I drunk? Am I sober? What are my skills?
I think there's also a difference of like year 1 of his presidency or emperorship or year 4. The confidence is going to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I think that you're lightly buzzed and you have a crossbow.
Yeah, that's bad for everybody.
I know, especially Gary.
Especially Gary.
Yeah.
Especially Gary.
I don't want to be anywhere near you in that state.
Yeah.
No.
That's bad emperor.
Would you call yourself Emperor Crossbow? Because you just toted it around?
On days like that.
Yeah.
And I would always have it on me.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of my signature. And a mustache.
What style?
Handlebar.
Well, wait, has the karate gi just become accepted at this point? Because I think that would start out as your signature. I mean, how many rulers have we had in a karate gi?
There's two outfits that the emperor wears: a karate gi, a bejeweled karate gi, and a jumpsuit like Elvis.
Yeah, well, when you say bejeweled karate gi, I think Elvis.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to lie. He's the original king.
Can you wear a black belt unitard?
I don't know. We're talking about like a skin tight unitard.
Skin tight unitard with your black belt. That's off-putting. Because it's like you're seeing shapes of things, and you're still kicking ass. You're like, oh God, I got my ass kicked by the guy whose package is on Front Street.
Can I be honest? If I wore a skin tight jet black leotard with a karate belt, I think I would be inviting a coup.
As emperor, but you've got your crossbow.
I know, but that might not be enough. I think people would be so outraged when they saw. They would invite them to attack. They would invite them. They'd be like, "Oh shit, we got to overthrow this guy, and we can."
Oh, see, that's the thing. If you're emperor and you're wearing a skin tight unitard with a black belt and a crossbow, I'm thinking this dude is out of his mind. I don't even want to go there because I don't know what's coming.
Yeah, and you don't know. Are you going to catch him on a good day, a bad day?
You don't know how many Schlitz malt liquors he's drank.
And that's his favorite, ice cold Schlitz.
Ice cold with the bull.
Oh,
come on.
What are we talking about here?
We're talking about heaven. We're talking about
a utopia. We're talking about a utopia.
A faction-free world.
Faction-free world, utopia.
Emperor crossbow.
Where he wears a bejeweled karate gi and shoots his crossbow at will.
Why are we not pitching this at CBS?
I don't know. CBS would buy this. This is total CBS material.
Hello, this is network all day. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't know how it could fail.
So I don't know how we got off on this topic, but it happened, and I'm glad it did because it people need to know.
Right. I mean, people need to know the inner workings of your mind, and I don't know how scared they are to find out the inner workings of mine.
Yeah.
People need to know.
Wow.
That one got Gary.
Yeah.
That got Gary. They do. They need to know.
They do. And you know what? Maybe they didn't think of this stuff today, but we're suggesting cool things.
Yeah.
Right?
That's leadership. We have a vision.
God, it's hard being this cool.
It is. And innovative.
Yeah.
Cutting edge. Sexy. I'll just say it.
Tell me about it. I live every day like this.
Hey, man.
What?
What?
What, man?
What, man? We have so many cool things going on, and we have a great guest today too. I'm really excited to talk to this guy.
I'm intimidated.
Well, you should be, because he's an intimidating dude.
And
actually, the nicest guy, but that's what makes him so awesomely intimidating.
Yeah.
It's because he's really nice, really
calm.
kind. Yeah, the calm, nice, sweet man. But death is just an inch away.
If you say the wrong thing, you're getting a throat grip coming.
You are going to get a quick jack slap.
Yeah. And then you'll be put in your place.
Yeah. But you get the warning. You get the jack slap. He probably won't gonna give me a jack slap. I know better.
You think that he'll just go for the throat rip?
Yeah.
Okay. I get that. You know, I think some.
And I know everybody's out there going, "Oh my God, are they interviewing Dalton from Roadhouse?" No.
Right.
No. But close.
He's a real life Dalton. Right?
Yep.
He's a real life Dalton, and the world is his Roadhouse.
That's right.
Another pitch to CBS. Let's go.
Come on.
Nate Boyer.
Nate Boyer, guys. Co-founder of MVP.
Yep.
Which stands for
Merging Veterans and Players. Which is pretty amazing when you talk about, veterans, which you are. Thank you for serving.
Boom. Thank you.
Thank you to all the veterans. And former players, sports figures.
Yeah.
Of which, by the way, Nate is both.
I know. That's the amazing thing. That's what makes Nate unique. So, a little backstory on Nate. Nate played football at the University of Texas. They take their football a little serious down there.
A little bit.
Was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks and is also a Green Beret.
Dude, how many more things do you need to do, Nate?
And then he co-founds, along with my friend Jay Glazer from Fox NFL, MVP, which is doing tremendous work in the veteran community. So, to me, he's a personal hero. I really love the guy. And when I used to do a golf tournament which you are familiar with, used to do a golf tournament for veterans as well.
Yes.
Out here in California.
I played in it.
I know, and I appreciate that. And he came out and played in it as well. So, always supporting, always out there trying to make a difference in a great way.
And subtly making us feel inferior.
It's so subtle, though. It's so subtle, but
Right?
it's there.
It's like he does it without saying anything. I'm going to do things for people. I'm going to be
of service to other people
constantly. And what am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm on the couch with Doritos watching Netflix.
And he says, I'm going to spend my day making the world a better place and serving my fellow man. Hey, Rob and Darren, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to go practice my wedge game.
Yeah, and I'm going to talk about my fantasy of being the emperor of the world.
Those are the things we're going to go do.
Yeah.
And this guy's out here making differences, and we're just losers. What is that?
He doesn't say that, though.
He does. With his actions, he says. He's clearly trying to tell us something.
No, he's not. He's out there. He's just doing good work.
I feel like that's the trick. He's like doing it, and you're like, oh, no, he's good. And I'm like, I get it.
Wait,
I get it, Nate.
you're acting like you're seeing through something. It's not the Wizard of Oz. He's not hiding behind the curtain doing something evil. He's all good, man. He's all good.
Dude, how do you not see it? He's saying to you through the things that he's doing in his life, Rob.
No,
what he's doing.
that's so not. Gary, am I crazy?
Well, about this or
Yes, this. Why? What do you mean? Like, not in general. You think I'm crazy in general?
No.
Emperor Crossbow?
Not at all, Emperor Crossbow and the bejeweled
Of course
unitard.
not. Please don't fire at me again.
Okay, well, good. So we established that.
Take the apple off your head, Gary, and he won't fire. He makes you walk around with an apple hat.
Well, he asked me to keep it in my mouth, and that just seemed dangerous. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a bad request on my part.
You always got to walk to the side when he does that.
So, but he's wrong, right?
I just didn't like how that looked in the camera.
Oh. It's an apple, so it wouldn't go in your head. It would go through the...
Yeah,
you
got
get
it.
it.
Yeah,
Go this
definitely
way.
got it. Don't meme that, anyone, please.
No. You don't... Yeah, don't make me your meme.
But just real quick, just before we move on, he's wrong, I'm right?
Usually, yeah. I
you.
mean, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Objective Gary.
Oh, he's objective, Gary.
Yes.
Oh, it seems very, very, very convenient.
Objective Gary. Everybody knows that's what he's called. That's what he goes by. Everybody knows it.
OG.
OG.
I get it.
He's my OG. He's Objective Gary.
That's good. That's cool on the streets. Hey, man, what's your name? I'm OG. Oh, what's up,
wow.
old school? Nope, I'm Objective Gary. I have no sway either way. I will tell you the facts. That's awesome. So, hey, let's get back to Nate.
Yeah.
I'm excited to talk to him today. It's the world needs people like that, to do cool stuff.
Well, you know what I appreciate? I appreciate the fact that he's taken on this mission of working with veterans and players, because that's a world he obviously knows better than anybody else. But he's also dabbled in some film, and he's trying to bring this story of what he does to the world.
Yeah.
And so there's a movie that was made a couple years ago called MVP that's out there as well. We're going to talk to him about that today.
I can't wait. I can't wait to talk to a dude who's a doer.
He is. That's the thing. That's what I think I respect the most about him is he acta non verba, to quote the Latin.
What is
action, not words.
Acta, not verba?
Acta non verba
Acta non verba.
means action, not words.
Wow. When did you learn that?
Well, it's right here.
It's in your. Oh, it's actually on a sign.
I keep it right there.
Gotcha.
So, but I appreciate that because he's a doer.
Yeah.
And the world needs more doers. And so when he sets his mind on something, he accomplishes it and gets the ball rolling and follows it through and does cool things.
It's funny because you got guys like that, right, who just are self-motivated and, and they do these things, right? And they accomplish missions and accomplish goals. And we all benefit, right, by and large. Yeah. But then there's dudes and chicks who just sit on the couch, right? And they feel sorry for themselves, and they're like, oh, man.
And then they get bitter at the world
because
they're not where they want to be.
Yeah, but that just goes to show you that you can – it's up to you to get off the couch.
Yeah.
Just get off the couch.
Yeah.
Some people, I get it. Some people have
Some
issues.
days you need to be on the couch.
It's tough to get off the couch some days. Some days it's
But some days it's okay to be on the couch.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're getting off the couch.
If you're getting off the couch as well.
Yeah.
And doing something.
And
You know what I learned from the couch?
What'd you learn?
Doers get more done.
So that's a good lesson.
Thank you, Home Depot.
Wait, did you learn that from Home Depot?
Well, I was on the couch, but
Did
I
you,
was
like-
in a Home Depot ad.
Did you apply at Home Depot and you learned their motto?
No, I'm not allowed in Home Depot. I can watch the commercials, but the premises.
Have you read any of the books I've given you, Gary? Any of them?
Good Night Moon.
I read "Oh, the Places You'll Go," and then I figured I was all set.
Did you read Hello God, It's Me, Margaret? Are you
Oh,
there?
no. After all the places you'll go, I realized that I am everything, and I will serve Emperor Crossbow forever, and I need no further reading.
Actually, that's probably the smartest answer I ever heard.
I can't argue. I will serve Emperor Crossbow for eternity. You're Emperor Crossbow.
I mean, Emperor, just call me Crossbow.
Crossbow?
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Maybe
like a
EC?
villain.
That's like my street.
That's your street, Crossbow. What's up, Crossbow?
What's up, Crossby?
Crossbow. Yeah, Crossbow. Like if you're in jail, you're Crossbow.
Yeah.
That's your name. That's not a name. That's
a good one.
That's a responsibility.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
That's like a good call sign. That's good everything.
Crossbow out.
This is Crossbow requesting a flyby.
This is Crossbow, which 1020. Right?
That's good walkie-talkie.
Thank you.
That's good. Oh my God! Between you and Gabe, where's Gabe? Gabe does sound effects too.
Can Gabe come do a sound effect?
We can probably arrange that.
All right.
He's outside doing sound effects right now.
What's your request? What's your sound effect request? What do you want to? Of all the palette of sounds is available to you, Rob. What do you want to hear?
I don't know. He's got quite a few.
I know what I want to hear.
Maybe like an old Ford engine trying to turn over.
Okay.
Maybe.
All right. After I hear that, I want to hear the mating call of a red-tailed hawk.
That's too high pitch, man. He'll shatter glass with that.
That's what I want.
Okay. All right. Well,
What's the request?
First is an old Ford.
engine turning over, probably like a '69 pickup truck.
Oh, 69. I can't do that one. I can do 67.
Yeah, we'll do 67.
Let's
That'll
have
work.
it.
It's not my first choice, but sure.
Yeah.
That's a '67 Ford, if I've ever heard one.
I got emotional. That hit me in the heart.
Yeah,
It tends to do that.
that was pretty good, Gabe.
Okay, I got a request, Gabe.
Yeah.
The mating call of a red-tailed hawk.
Oh man, mating call. That's a tough one.
Mating call is.
Mating call is hard. It's different than like feeding call.
Well, yeah, that's why it's called something different.
Let's see.
Nailed it.
God dang it, that
You
was
know-
good.
Thank you.
That was a mating call.
Yeah. I know. Are you feeling turned on?
Well, yeah.
I
Okay,
wanna-
so you're a hawk then.
Well, I'll be honest. I made that sound once before. I actually made that sound in the club.
You did in the what?
In the club.
Serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
What happened?
I was coming out of the bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And I was just checking to make sure I didn't pee on the front of me.
Yeah,
'cause
you're
sometimes you
you're
do that.
dot free.
Yeah, make sure I'm dot free.
Copy.
And I was, and then someone was playing my jam. I was like, I'm on my way to the dance floor, and I went, like whatever that was,
Yeah, that was perfect.
and I made the sound, and it worked because all of a sudden I was at the club, and I was on the dance floor,
Yeah.
doing my thing, and I was
a
on.
bunch
Did
of
a,
birds
did a
attack you.
hawk show up, or was it ladies?
It was ladies.
Was that a lady hawk?
You call them what you want, but
Okay.
it was a lady, and I was on the dance floor.
And it worked at the club.
Right here.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. I have a dot story.
You do.
Yes. A this week dot story. This was
This week?
This sucked.
This week?
Yes.
I did come out of the club one time in khakis. I had on khakis, and I had a dot.
Straight dotting.
I had a straight dotting. I was straight dotting.
Dude, here's my story. I got a chance to play Riviera Country Club this week.
Ooh.
Right?
And you're busting my beans about never taking you anywhere.
Hey, I got invited. By the way, shout out to Neil Tardio. Thank you for inviting me, and Jay Lappin for hosting. Anyway, I'm at Riviera. I get there early because Riviera Country Club is where you go. It's an experience.
Yeah.
And I wanted to take my time.
Yeah.
I show up. I put my declutz at the roundabout.
Yeah.
I go park the car.
Yeah.
I walk up. The guy goes, "Can I take your clubs down?" And I go, "Yes, please."
Well, yes, of course you can.
Yeah. He goes, "Do you want to go to the restaurant or do you want to go to the driving range?" I said, "Take him to the driving range, please."
Yeah.
He did. I go in the clubhouse and you see pictures of Ben Hogan. You see all these amazing legendary.
The history there is phenomenal.
It's freak show stuff for golfers, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in amazement. It's the second time I've been there, luckily, and it's still amazing. So I go to the locker room. There's all the shaving stuff, all the stuff. I'm like, oh, I want to touch everything. I had to pee. I go pee.
Yeah.
And I was in such a rush.
Oh no.
I didn't shut the reservoir off completely.
Properly shake.
No.
Yeah.
I wanted to get back out there.
Of course.
And I'm in like tan. I'm in actually these shorts right here.
The khakis.
These.
Oh yeah.
Those
Those are the biggest spotters in the world.
kiss of death.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden I'm like, oh, wait a minute. And I look in the mirror.
And you got just
It's not a dot.
it's a leakage.
It's a small pond on the front of my shorts. And I'm tucked in, right? My shirt's tucked in. I'm at Riviera. I'm lone wolfing. I'm this guy with tattoos everywhere. And I've got a massive dot. And I don't know what to do. So I'm like,
Did you grab a hairdryer?
No, they didn't have one. They had everything else. So check it out. I make my way, like I'm walking a little sideways here, there. I go down to the driving range, and there's a restroom down by the driving range. There is a hand dryer. So I'm in the bathroom, leaning back, and it's a.
You got to be careful when you do that. You can burn your tallywhacker.
I know, but here's the thing. It wasn't a push on, push off. It had to be as a sensor. Oh. So I'm holding my shorts out this way, and I'm using one hand, and I'm going, and I move my hand and go, and I'm like, I feel like I'm in a movie, like candid camera bullshit.
Please don't let anybody see me do this.
Dude, it was
at the Riv.
It was the worst. So I had to get it to a state where it was not so contrasty. Yeah. And I did. I had shame. Yeah. I had shame.
Ladies don't understand this. They have their own issues, I understand. But for boys, we have our issues. And one is the leakage or the improper shake can lead to spotting. And what happens then, too, if you don't have a hairdryer, here's a little trick I found. Get a paper towel and rub the spot like you're trying to start a fire. And it will actually dry it out and even the thing out pretty quickly.
But careful, because that'll burn your tallywhacker too.
That will. But hopefully you'll have more sense of it, though.
You also have to be careful with what you're wiping it with, because if it's a towel from a bathroom, the fibers will come off and lock into your shorts. So now you got a dot and fibers, and it's just a mess.
You know who I bet none of this has ever happened to?
Who?
Nate Boyer.
Yeah.
You know that dude shakes like a champion.
Yes.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He would never fall prey to this kind of foolishness.
No, and he doesn't wear khaki shorts golfing at Riviera.
Well, you know what? I think we should just ask him about it.
Let's do. Is he here?
He's here.
Let's bring him in.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Dude, thank you for joining us today. We got a lot of ground to cover. We got a lot of things to talk about with you. We were talking about you before you came on, by the way, just so you know. All good. All good. Except Darren. Darren was saying some shit.
Let's be honest. I'm having an inferiority complex.
All of us are.
Totally. You got a man's man, does a lot of stuff. He gets up every day and he goes, what am I going to do today? And I'm like, what am I going to think about
How can
doing?
I get out of what I'm going to do today?
And I want to know, when you wake up, do you have mornings where you're like, not today, man?
No. Pretty much every morning. I'm with you. I feel that. Oh yeah, I don't get up at 4 a.m. I'm not that guy. I'm not that. I sleep as long as I possibly can. I stay up late, working late often, kind of get caught up on stuff. And if I'm working on something creative, that's the best time because the phone's not going off and you know what I mean? You can kind of focus.
I'm with you on that. It's either early morning or late at night. That's when you get get work, when you get your work done.
Exactly.
I find that the rest of the day belongs to everybody else. Is that your case?
Yeah. No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But also in the day, like you got to get outside, and take advantage of that, especially if it's
That's
nice
the difference.
out,
That's the difference. He's like, I got to take advantage of it. Most people are like, I'm just doing nothing. That's the difference right there.
That's California.
You need to take notes.
Me?
Yeah. I'm just saying.
So, Nate, let's go back and start with your football career because you played at Texas. Yep. They take their football serious down there, don't they?
They do. We weren't great when I was there, so I heard the other end of that when it's not so, you know what I mean?
That's
Very
all right.
serious.
But you play that's a high level. It's just a high level D1 football at Texas University.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, you don't just stumble on to a Longhorn team. You know that the standard is so high. So you got to play football down in Texas. Are you a Texas man?
No, you know what? I was born in Tennessee. I was born in Knoxville, which is where the other Orange UT is.
Yeah.
And then I was raised mostly in the Bay Area. My dad was a racehorse veterinarian at Golden Gate Fields in the East Bay, and my mom was an engineer, and she got her doctorate at UC Berkeley. So very
Wow.
accomplished parents. You know what I mean? A lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So I did the exact opposite. Terrible in school. Didn't go to college right away. Eventually joined the military, but yeah, I found my way to Texas because I just loved Austin. And to your point, you know, just a historic program. I never played football in my life growing up. It was like a dream of mine and I played other sports, but I regretted not trying. So I said, you know, coming off of active duty, wherever I go to college, I'm just going to try out for the football team. And if I get cut, so what? It's still life goes on, but I'm just going to go for it. And I ended up going to UT and somehow got on the team and eventually
Just
got on the
somehow.
field.
Just somehow ended
somehow
up.
it's not a somehow thing. You got on it because you have a tremendous skill set, because you're incredibly athletic, because you have a determined mindset. Did you get that mindset in the Army?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm really not that athletic. I think that I am, but then I watch myself on tape and I'm like, yeah, you're not athletic at all. You're a long snapper athlete. So you better learn that. But absolutely, like just learning how to kind of sacrifice to be something. Like it's not just, there's so many types of sacrifice in the military. I think everyone immediately goes to the ultimate sacrifice, which is, something we obviously hold very dear, and it's extremely important, but just sacrificing time, sacrificing fun sometimes, unfortunately, sometimes it's sacrificing friends and family, which is tough. But if you want to get better at something or get as good as you can be at something, like there's just a lot of sacrifice that goes into that. And I did learn that absolutely in the military. And I think I just built this confidence and belief in myself, just through the people around me, surviving deployments, but also surviving training, just getting through it.
Yeah.
And you start to believe that you can do almost anything. You kind of have this, maybe it's a little naive or arrogant or whatever, but you have to have that sort of feeling or you're just not going to compete.
You're not gonna win.
And I couldn't agree more. I think the military, and especially what you did, you were special forces, you were Green Beret, you did some very special things within the military. But I do think, and I wore my Marine T-shirt because I know I'd be talking to you today for the veteran component of it. But I do believe that when you go through and you push yourself beyond your perceived limits, whatever those are, you discover something new inside yourself, and then you start to think, you know what? If I can do this, I can do this. And if I can do this, I can do this. And it just kind of snowballs on itself a little bit, it's pretty cool. So tell us about whichever you're comfortable with, but tell us about your military experience. When did you join? Where did you go? What did you do? Tell us a little bit.
So first of all, I was born 15 days late, and I think for the rest of my life, I'll always be late to the party, and not just like showing up last guy in formation in the military, but also just starting things later in life. And so I didn't join. I signed up when I was 23, but I didn't even go to basic till I was 24. So as you know, I mean, you were on the other side of it, but just going to, basic with a bunch of enlisted guys, it's like 18, 19, maybe 20 year old guys for the most part. And then I was in there. I think I had one guy in my platoon older than me, maybe two, but it was a little, it was different, but there's value in that because I kind of lived on my own for 5 years and figured out, just didn't do anything spectacular, but yeah, I worked on a fishing boat for a while and did all kinds of random odd jobs and just kind of learned how to get by. Yeah. And then, this was in 04. So there was, the surge in Iraq, and we already had been at war for 3+ years. And the Special Forces opened up this 18 X-ray program, they called it, where you could come in off the street if you scored high enough on like a language aptitude and psych eval, and obviously you take the ASVAB and all these sort of tests, and you could get this contract to you go to basic training and then airborne school. And if you get through that, then you go to Special Forces selection. And if you get selected, then you start, a year and a half long training to become a Green Beret. And I think I know there was a high attrition rate with that. And it was like good recruiting tool, because if you don't make it through, you go to the needs of the Army. That's wherever they want to put you. And
right. They put you back in the system, in the ecosystem.
Yeah, exactly. And most of those guys walk right down the street to the 82nd Airborne, which is an awesome unit with incredible history. And with D-Day 80th anniversary coming up, they were a part of that. I mean, it's not a bad place to be at all. Right. But, for the most of the people that signed up, they really wanted to make it through. And so, I was just a little bit older. Which helped me in a lot of ways, because I think I took things in stride a little bit. I was able to get, you get humiliated, and it's just the way it is, and it's certainly not easy, but you just, I think when you've been humiliated in life a few times and you've already dealt with a bit of rejection, you're just like, all right, this will pass. The sun comes up tomorrow. We'll be okay.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you have enough life experience and you've been kicked around, or you've had some failures along with some successes, you start to appreciate things more. You understand things more. You understand that it's not the end of the world. It's just a setback, or it's just one failure, and you learn from it and you keep moving forward.
Totally. No, exactly. So that was certainly helpful. And then, the training was incredible, but it's a grind. And most people that don't make it, they self-select, they eventually quit or sort of, even if they don't overtly or vocally tap out, they tap out in some way or another, and their time kind of comes up. And then a lot of those people come back, which is awesome, and finish, when they realize, okay, I can do this, start to believe in themselves. But going through that. And then eventually I went to First Special Forces Group out in Okinawa. That was my first duty station, which was really cool. And then ended up going to Iraq with 10th Group, and then went to Israel after that. It wasn't like it is right now. It was more of a training exercise with the Israeli Sayeret Sanhanim, their Special Forces folks. And then I had to make a decision. I was in Iraq and thinking about whether I was going to go to college or not, and was up for, the reenlistment bonuses were good, but not incredible at the time. And I just decided to take my talents to the University of Texas.
Sure.
That's amazing. So you're in the armed services, Green Beret, you go to Texas, you play there, and then in your life, did the military set you up? So, you have MVP, and I'm not trying to gloss over all the other things that you've done.
No.
But you set up this thing, MVP, right? And do you think that the military experience helped you believe in yourself to go, you know what, I have this idea, I'm going to try to do it? Or do you think pre-military you would have been like, I have this idea, I don't know if it'll fly? And do you think that gave you confidence to go forward?
Absolutely. And I'll go back to my experience at Texas real quick. I was in that locker room, 10 years older than the other freshmen. It was just a very different college experience. And I transitioned into the Texas National Guard. And with that, I still deployed. So I would deploy between my sophomore, junior, and senior year. I went back to Afghanistan, or I went to Afghanistan. I'd never been before, for about 3.5 months. And they put me on an ODA, and it was like, I saw it as, first of all, I wanted to go back. I appreciated it. The summer's a little humid in Austin, not a lot going on. So it was a good time to go get a good dry heat in Afghanistan. Rob knows. But yeah, I mean, and so I had this very high tempo. And I think to me, it felt really normal to do all that stuff, because I just liked going a million miles an hour. But I think more and more people were just like, that's incredible. That's crazy. Like that, how do you do that? I'm like, I don't know. I just signed up and showed up and didn't quit, basically. That's how those things all worked.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, when the military ended and football ended, and I'd gotten to know Jay Glazer pretty well. And Jay has a gym in Los Angeles called Unbreakable Performance Center. So when I was trying to take a crack at the NFL, he helped train me up for that. And then when I got, eventually cut from the Seahawks, Jay was like, "Hey, I know how you are. You're bazillion miles an hour. You're probably thinking about going back in the military." I'm like, "It's exactly what I'm thinking about doing." And he was like, "There's a lot of people in your position, a lot of vets, and I know a lot of athletes from my side of things." For those that don't know, Jay's a Fox NFL Sunday analyst, and so it was his idea, and he kind of brought it to me. And at first, I sort of hesitated because I immediately thought of, well, I don't want to compare battlefields and ball fields because those are very different places. But as soon as I kind of took a step back and looked at how many things we did have in common, like the identity and attachment to a uniform, the structure, like I said earlier, the sacrifice, different kind of sacrifice, but you got to sacrifice a lot to be an elite athlete. And then that camaraderie, the locker room, the number one thing when you ask vets and you ask athletes, like, what do you miss? They always say, "I miss the guys," like that's the number one thing. And so Jay was spot on with that. And that's why we started MVP. And to answer your question, yeah, I never even would have thought I could start anything before my time in the military, honestly. Like, I didn't see myself as a leader, certainly. I was kind of, I don't want to say I was meek. I just was like, I didn't want that responsibility. I was afraid of it. I didn't think I was the right guy. I didn't think I was good enough. And, and I still think that every morning when I wake up. It's not
That's everybody's struggle. I think you're not alone in that. I do. I think everybody wakes up and it's not, I don't think it's imposter syndrome. That's a different thing. I think it's that, God, I hope I have the strength to do it. To if I've been given this responsibility, oh God, help me do it, more than it is, I'm a fake or something, because that's not it. It's more of you feel the weight of the responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. And that's sometimes hard to explain to other people that don't necessarily have that in their lives. And, where they're like, it's hard for them to understand like bandwidth, and like how much, when I say bandwidth, it's not just, I don't have any time. It's just like, I don't have that much, goodwill. I don't have that much. I think, you have they call, whatever, your cup is too overfilled or whatever, or
I think bandwidth is a great describer of it, because, you in order to serve and lead, you have to empty yourself out, and you have to have the capacity to do that. And then somehow, because no one's filling you up, you got to have enough self-awareness to go, okay, I got to recharge myself. Otherwise, I'm going to be useless to the people I'm trying to help or serve.
Exactly,
or lead.
Yeah, no, you explained it. That's what I wanted to say. No, but that's how it feels. It's like it's kind of hard to understand, but then you feel guilty because you're like, I should be helping this person. I need to call that person back. Like, I know they need help, or I need they whatever it is. And it can be exhausting, but also then you sit back and you say, wow, like, how lucky am I though that people actually count on me? And I feel like there's a lot of people that just feel like if they weren't here, and I felt like this before in my life when I was younger, like if I wasn't around, yeah, my family would miss me, but the world would be totally fine. Everything would be fine. And that's not a good feeling. No one wants to feel that.
That's a hard place to be.
Yeah. But I think that's why MVP, and I was lucky enough to come down to the gym and spend time with you and Jay and a lot of the MVP members there. That's what MVP I think is so special, is because when you talk about the sense of responsibility you feel, and that means you're a leader and you have a good conscience and you care. But MVP becomes a force multiplier. It allows you to reach more people. It allows you to bring more people in and let them find the help and support that they need. So it's not just you trying to do it all by yourself. You created this thing that actually becomes a bigger blanket, which covers a lot of people. So I think that's the way you have been so beneficial with regard to being able to give back, is through your MVP.
Right. No, I appreciate that. And I think that's sometimes it was hard for a long time to like trust and realize that other people should be carrying the torch. You know, you don't always have to do it. And and I know Jay feels that way often too. It's like, you know, you want to make sure it's done right, and you want to make sure people are taken care of, and you want to make sure that nothing's falling through the cracks. So you get a little too involved maybe and too overbearing instead of just letting those people that they need the opportunity to serve also. Like that makes them feel whole. So if you take that away from them and you try to do everything, you're being of less service actually, because now there's all these other people that are like ready and willing, and they have the bandwidth and they need to empty the cup, you know, and you're not letting them because you're. So
that's
like
a great point.
That's been really cool to see.
That's a great point. And also, MVP, you did a movie.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I have a specific question.
Okay.
Was it your first time acting on screen with this film?
I'd had small parts in like, I'm actually Blink and You Miss Me, but I'm in 12 Strong with Rob there, but not in a scene with Rob. I'm like, so originally, I got to tell this quick story.
Yeah.
Originally, I was going to be the other SF ODA commander opposite Chris Hemsworth, who his character anyway, who was like kind of competing for that mission. And then ultimately they get that. But like 2 weeks before we went to shooting, they completely scrapped that B story. So my guy was gone like that. There was no competing ODA, or at least they weren't going to focus on it. They just were going to kind of talk about it, you know, in exposition or whatever. So then they reached out and they're like, we still really want you to be in it because we don't have any Green Berets in it. Would you be a crew chief on the plane that's flying them out there? And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm a crew chief. I mean, it was cool. I was a door gunner, so that's cool. But it was like,
but you're actual ODA.
Yeah, I don't get to be a real guy, but I was very grateful and it was cool. So that was my very first film. And then I did I was in Den of Thieves and an episode of This Is Us and a few episodes of Mayans and then The Terminal List.
The Terminal List, yeah.
Yeah.
With Chris Pratt, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
I've done, and I've done some little recurring things, but to be honest, and I am grateful, I appreciate it, but all super procedural. Like this guy's, he knows how to do the tactical piece.
Yeah.
His lines are pretty simple. He's talking on the radio half the time. Like he'll be fine. So this was the first time, like I would say actually acting where I had to, my character had an arc.
Was it nerve-wracking?
Yeah, it was, because also, first of all, we had no money. We shot this movie for $200,000.
Wow,
which is insane in Hollywood.
That's quite a feat to pull that off. Yeah,
it was during the fall of 2020, so COVID was still very much a thing. We shot in Hollywood. We had no permits. We had no permission. We had nothing like that, but. We were a SAG project, so we did have. I mean, we went through the union, and then we had almost all vets and athletes in front of and behind the camera, working on this thing. So every veteran portrayed on screen is played by an actual vet, and then you've got people like Tony Gonzalez and Randy Couture and Howie Long and Michael Strahan have a cameo in it, and of course Jay's in it, and they're all playing themselves, versions of themselves, and then if I didn't have to pay one of the leads, which was me. If I didn't have to pay the producer, if I didn't have to pay the director, I directed the movie as well, or the writer, I could make it for $200,000 because those are the highest paying jobs on the set. So, and all the, even like Tom Arnold and some of these other pretty recognizable actors that aren't necessarily on the A-list or whatever, but they all worked for scale. Everyone was just like, I just want to be a part of this, and
that's awesome.
We appreciate what you're doing. So it was, it worked out. It worked out pretty.
That's
well.
cool, man.
That's really fantastic.
That's amazing.
So if people haven't seen it out there, it's on Paramount Plus if you have that, or you can rent it. I think on Apple TV and Prime and all those places for like $3 or something. But if you have Paramount, it's free on there. They licensed it, which is awesome.
That's fantastic.
Good for you,
and
man.
it's based on true events, correct?
Yes, exactly. It's really the genesis of MVP. And in this story, these are real people that are portrayed. It was a Marine who was living in a homeless shelter on Sunset Boulevard in East Hollywood, and a former NFL player, first year out of the league in West Hollywood, living in a really nice house with a family and everything. And so on paper, they don't really have anything in common, black guy, white guy, military, football, like just very different experiences in life. But when they start talking and get to know each other a bit, they realize they're going through the exact same thing. It's like the same feelings, and they sort of help each other through it. So, yeah,
It's a great story. It's a great story.
It's cool, but that's really how we started. It's really the genesis of MVP.
So what's now you just had a big gala too for MVP. It seems like it's really growing and doing well. What's your vision for it going forward?
Yeah, so we had our second annual gala up at the Star in Frisco, which is great. The Cowboys and a lot of teams around the league. We have 8 chapters around the country, and pretty much in every city we're at, the NFL team of that city has been very involved, which is killer for us.
Yeah.
And also the league, and the NFL has been super supportive, as well as because of Jay's connections to folks at Fox Sports and all these places. So we have that in our pocket that's huge, like the sort of the media presence and and that athlete engagement is big, because there's a lot of veteran organizations out there that do a lot of good work, and it's really hard for them to get on the map, and so we do have that, which is great. And the 8 cities we're in right now is LA, Vegas, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, Seattle, Dallas, and Phoenix. And our main vision is just to keep growing and building and have more chapters and more places. We're already starting to do, I'm living in Austin now, and we're starting to do more stuff in Austin, and I'm heading to Fort Campbell later to go do some stuff with the 101st and the Tennessee Titans. And so there's all these other cities that are in the pipeline. Hopefully New Orleans soon, and we're looking at doing something for the Super Bowl out there next year, and maybe launching, and it's really exciting. So we're stoked. Jacksonville, DC, all these places. When you got people like Coach Quinn, who's now the Commanders head coach, who helped start our chapter in Atlanta, and then was the DC for the Cowboys, and him and Coach McCarthy were like so huge for us and launching. And McCarthy really, when he was in Green Bay, he started, but in really getting Dallas going. And now Coach Q goes out there to the Commanders, and we're like, hey, why don't we start doing some stuff in DC? Army Navy's there this year. It makes a lot of sense, and off we go.
That's fantastic. Well, you are definitely a champion for veterans and an amazing example for a lot of people. So I'm very grateful to the work that you do. And
we all are.
And I appreciate your journey.
Fun too, man. Like whether it's with the Semper Fi Fund or a lot of the things that you've got going on. It was always fun to play in your tournament up there.
I know, you were always so good about that. You always came. I always appreciated that.
Are you crazy? Of course I would come. You matched me up I got to play with Charlie Day because of you.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
I have a concerning question. Out of all of this, I noticed, in the beginning you told us you grew up in the Bay Area, and you refer to it as Frisco.
Frisco, Texas.
I think if you're from the Bay Area and you call it's called Frisco, I think they hate it.
Well, he said Frisco, Texas.
He said, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Frisco, Texas.
Yeah, that's where the Cowboys. It's like North Dallas. That's where the Cowboys.
Gotcha.
That's where the Star is.
Okay, because
that was close.
Hey, but I still am a huge Niner fan. My Warriors are now not in the playoffs, but that's okay. Giants fan. Like, I'm a Bay Area sports fan.
Were you cursing? Were you cursing my name last year at the Super Bowl specifically?
No, you've done it to me twice. I'm not cursing your name. I don't hate the Chiefs. I got to play against some pretty epic quarterbacks in college. And when I say play against, I was a long snapper, so I was on the field when the quarterbacks were playing. But I played against Pat Mahomes a couple of times when he was at Tech, and we beat him up. And I was like, this guy's the 10th pick? Like, man, was I wrong.
Amazing. It's amazing how some flowers bloom. You just got to wait till it's their time. Like even Tom Brady, look at his skinny ass, and then all of a sudden he bloomed into the GOAT, right? And now Patrick, same thing. It's some people just bloom a little later. That's it.
Dude. Well, I mean, they saw something that that's why I'm not a scout, because I don't know what I'm looking at, but
right.
They just knew. Andy Reid knew,
That's amazing to be able to see a spark in something and go, oh, that's going to be amazing.
That's what I saw in you.
They're wrong sometimes too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of first picks and first rounders that it's just.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about. You get it.
Dealing with right here, so
totally.
You understand. Hey, Nate, thank you, man. I told you we'd make it quick and easy for you. I hope it was. But thank you. Thanks for coming and talking to us. Thanks for sharing your story. It's an amazing story. I think you're an American hero, an American legend. I love what you do. Keep it up, and I can't wait to play golf with you soon.
Hey, my honor, brother. I am not those things, but I aspire to be. That's probably why I work so hard.
It's a great story. Thank you so much.
Yeah, bud.
Thank you both. Appreciate y'all.
See you, bud.
Take care.
Thanks,
Welcome.
man. Hook of Orange. See?
Dude, that's a man's man.
And he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, and go to MVP.org. Is it MVP.org or is it vetsandplayers.org? Vetsandplayers.org.
Go to vetsandplayers. You need to do the research, bro. So unprofessional.
I know. I'm working on it.
Can't believe these microphones work.
Do you see?
This is what I got to deal with.
Thanks again, bud.
All right. See you, brother.
Thanks,
man.
Dude, what do you say after that?
I know, man. It's humbling, right? To know that there are guys out there like that work as hard as they do every day.
Yeah.
Are humble about it. They're like, no, it's not me. They're pointing at everybody else.
I know, it's almost like a silent flex.
It's not though. It's not a flex.
No, not intentional.
Right, but it's what it is. It's we don't see good leadership hardly anymore.
No.
We don't, because our politicians are garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Local politicians, people that are considered famous. It's just garbage. And when you see a true leader, you feel like, man, is he putting on an act? Because you can't believe that someone would be that
selfless. Yeah, dude, totally honestly, the guy's a stud. He's a stud. He's doing stuff for other people. And you know what? In a selfish way, which is great for everybody, he's stoked on it. Like that's what makes him happy, is to do stuff for other people.
Yeah.
I wish you had embodied a little bit more of that.
What?
What?
What do you mean? What?
I wish that you were a little bit more like Nate Boyer.
I try to be more like Nate Boyer. I wish you were more like Nate Boyer.
You can't say that. I just said it.
Well, I said it back at you.
You can't throw it back on me.
Back in your face.
Oh, dude. You know what? Let's both try to be little Nates.
All right.
Okay?
And I'm down with that.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you from now on, how did you Nate today?
Ooh, that's all right.
All right. That's the new question for you.
Okay, that'll be the new question.
All right.
All right, we'll do.
I know Gary hasn't Nated today.
Gary never Nates.
It's not in my nature.
He marinates.
Oh, get it? Nate?
He
sure.
marinates.
Oh.
Huh? Guys?
Yeah.
Let's vote on it. Everybody write in, tell me if you loved it. And if you did, how much you loved it. You super loved it or you really loved it?
Or if you didn't love it, you could say that too.
No. The two choices are super loved it or really, really loved it.
That sounds like you're stacking the deck.
So that's the guys agreed. Put that on the
Yeah. It's already out
questionnaire.
there on the socials.
Yeah, on the socials.
Is that on the Chiron?
It is now.
I learned that word the other day.
Listen, let's soak in today's episode,
Okay.
and I hope that our listeners heard something great today, and I hope that they feel inspired to take action. Act the nonverba.
Act a nonverb. I feel inspired.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Do something good for once.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get a big fat lunch.
I don't know if that's okay.
But the way I'm putting money back into the economy.
That's not
right.
That's
then
not.
I'm gonna go. I'm teeing off at 3:02.
Again, this is all self-serving.
No, dude. There's other people out there that I'm gonna come in contact with.
Don't tell me you're helping the economy. It's such a.
I kind of am, but also
You're missing the point, Gary. He's missing it, right? Is that just...
Darren's sandwich is what saved us.
Oh my God. Okay. Listen,
that's how I'm Nating.
I feel like that's a not Nathan.
I'm dominating.
Get out. Get
All
out.
right.
Get out.
All right, I'll see you guys. Thank you. I'll see you.
Hey, everybody, this has been Riggle's Picks. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rob Riggle. That was Darren Leader.